Welcome. I am Janita Stanton. We have Reginald Perryman, Shaka Williams. We are Tasari, and this is the There's Something About Real Estate podcast where we talk all things real estate. So I don't know. We was just I was telling you not to be doing me like that.
Oh yeah.
When agents like Kiera call you and be talking about me. We got a special guest with us, Kiera Williams from At Properties Real Estate Company.
Hello.
And on your Blink, it was real estate. Kiera Williams Real Estate Services.
Yeah, well, it's tax services and real estate services.
So tax, notary, just all around entrepreneur. I asked you earlier, do you do anything else other than sell real estate?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Oh, but you don't have like your answer was different earlier.
What, that I'm an entrepreneur?
Yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I am. Yeah, I do anything, basically, so I don't have to work for somebody else.
Right.
You want to know about what I do?
Yeah, like, so when did you get started? And
so in real estate, I got started technically 2021. I became a property manager, and I started managing about 200 properties in the city of Detroit. And then I took the class in 2022. And I passed the test after a few times.
Right.
But real estate kind of came back around for me though, because I went in to get into it about 10 years ago, and I couldn't pass that test. It was like that was my biggest thing. So I just kind of like put it to the wayside, and I was like, okay, when the opportunity come back around again, I'll just, I'm gonna jump on it, and that's literally how it happened.
I'm actually glad that you said that, because people make it like such a big deal if you don't pass the test on like the first try. Like, and it's not. Like,
yeah, no.
You should keep trying.
Keep trying.
I only know I'm up to 12 people now. I only know 12 people that passed it their first time.
And I only know 2.
And this after 32 years. Like, I've only met 12 people.
That's wild.
And that's so it not passing the first time, you don't give up.
Yeah, don't give up on it. Because now, I'm doing good in it. So yeah.
She said she just closed 3 houses yesterday.
Yeah,
just sold 3 houses.
Yeah, but that was on the wholesale end. So we can talk about that in a minute. But yeah, I did. Yeah. I sold 3 yesterday.
Right.
Just cash buyers. I work with investors. So yeah, they came in and getting it done.
Okay.
Let me go back to the property management piece. So, are you still doing property management, or see how I slid up?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's too much. That is too much. Like dealing with tenants, then versus like we just buying and selling. That's a way quicker process. I don't have to,
Right.
But tenants are, you dealing with other people in the city in their homes that's been in these homes for years, and it's just a different ball game dealing with them completely. So I just stick strictly to sales now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and you selling one way or another. How are you deciding when it's a wholesale deal versus a listing?
So with the wholesale deals, I got different sellers that I work with throughout the city, and they work with like these big investors. So they got all these properties, and they want to get them sold off market. So those would be more of the wholesale type of deals for me, because I can add them to my list, and people might want to buy 4, 5, 6 of those properties at a time. Versus like the MLS. Somebody's normally wanting to buy a home, they getting a mortgage, they looking for their home, they forever home. I'm gonna take them through that process. So you can make money both ways.
Right.
With, listing them through your brokerage or doing the wholesale, what I love about real estate, because you can make money any kind of way doing it.
So a quick roundtable discussion. So me and Janita was having this conversation earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about perception. So when you talk off-market deals, is there really more value to the property being off-market? So in other words, we get buyers that call us, because investors call us on properties that are listed as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if the numbers make sense, they're going to buy them whether it's on-market or off-market.
Mm-hmm.
But you have some buyers they like, oh, I only want
Off-market.
off-market
They
deals.
don't know no better.
And I'm like, what's the difference? If you want this as a return on investment or you want, a certain cap rate or whatever, who cares if it's off-market or on-market? So what's y'all thoughts on that?
I feel like on the investor side, most of the deals that I find are on market. Like while
Right.
everybody else is focused on, like trying to find some off market deals. I'm kind of like, well, shit, somebody else did that work for me.
Right.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
can just send my contract in and, hopefully it all works out. I will say that maybe finding my own deals, could be worthwhile. But at the same time, I'm not sure. So like I've bought several off-market properties in like the last 2 months or
Okay.
something like that or whatever, and I'm not quite sure that this is what I'll say. I feel like there are less eyes on the off-market deals.
Yeah, it's no
Mhm.
competition.
It's no
so that's
it's
the
not as
benefit.
much that's the
Right.
benefit.
But the benefit is not necessarily, it's not always a better financial opportunity. It's just
Exactly, because
but
sometimes I'm
is
looking
it-
at this wholesale contract like, dang, if this was on market, like they go a little bit different. Like there's money, it's a lot of money in there sometimes
right,
between the seller and the wholesaler and the end buyer.
right.
Where if it was on market, there's a potential that I probably could have got it a little less,
Right.
maybe.
So let me ask you this, right? Is it truly off market though, in the grand scheme of things? So how many investors you have in your investor list?
Oh wow.
Hundreds,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
How
I got
many
a lot.
investors you have in your investor list?
I don't work with investors.
Right. But you see what I'm saying? So for every one of you,
Mhm.
it's probably hundreds of people like you that have hundreds of investors.
Mhm.
So when you get a property, it's not on the MLS, but you probably have at least 30 buyers that will buy that property, right?
Yeah.
So it's not technically less competition if you
I
got
do have something. So one of the properties that's on your list, the East
Mhm.
English property, that's come across my desk twice this week already.
Mhm.
So one of the guys that I work with that I buy properties through, he's an
Yeah.
agent, and I hit him a couple of days ago, and I'm like, yo, what do you have? And he's like, oh, my homeboy got this one over here in East English and this one over here in Bagley. And when I looked at the list, I'm like, that's the same house.
Yeah.
And when I looked
that
when I looked it up the other day, it was that one in particular was not on the market at all, but the one in Bagley was a conditional withdrawal
Right.
from the agent,
Mm.
still on the market. So whatever they're trying to do, waiting for it to go back on.
right.
So and that's actually the second one in the last 2 weeks that was like that. Another property that came up over in Martin Park. It had come to me a couple weeks ago, and then they called me back because their first deal didn't go through. Oh, we still
Right.
want to sell it. And then within a few hours, another agent hit me online for like $15,000 more than what I was going to have it under contract for.
Right.
Always. So,
Yeah.
so those off-market deals to me are you spend more on the off-market deal than you do on the MLS as an investor to me. Especially when you get to your situation where she's talking about the next wholesaler, because it'd be so many wholesalers in the middle,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So unless you got a direct contact to the actor, so who she's talking about is somebody that's actually the individual that typically has it
The
under contract,
Right.
not
So
the
that
person
would
that's
be you.
assigning it. Yeah,
Somebody, you have it under contract, so
Mhm.
investors need to call you direct
Correct.
to get the price
you
because
with the actual seller.
I'm with the sellers, but I also have my own team of investors. So like I get it on both sides.
right,
Yeah.
So I feel like with the off market deals, you're right. A lot of them, they want to make money, but they want to make it off the market. So we can get your house sold without having to use an agent.
right,
A lot of them, especially a lot of investors, they don't want to pay the commission. So
right,
like the one I sold yesterday, he literally wrote in his contingency, like, yeah, I'm going to pay the EMD. I want to close in this time, but I'm not responsible for any commissions because he's buying it off the market.
He
right,
paying the assignment
right.
fee anyway.
Right,
What
but
you
now you
talking
paying
about?
that, but you're still paying the assignment fee,
Yeah.
but they
But you
don't look
still-
at it like that.
yeah.
Probably more than you paying in the
That's what I
commission
say
for the,
about-
you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
So-
but they don't know that. But they just looking like I'm just making sure I'm not paying this.
That's all they worried
commission.
about. But and it's nothing wrong because like I like the direction she's speaking from. She's fulfilling or responding to what people feel like they want,
Mm-hmm.
right? And okay, cool. Well, let's get you this off-market property. You're not gonna pay no commission.
Yeah.
Great.
Right,
Lord.
right.
Okay.
Lord.
Yeah.
But they're still paying some, like everybody's so focused on like not paying this commission.
Yeah.
Or if you're just like vetting properties, like I get calls from investors all the time, like, no, we want to know what you have off market.
Yeah.
Like off market though, not on market.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a
So,
secret. I feel like that's a secret to people who want to sell their house fast. Tell everybody it's off market, because all the people that's not paying attention gonna think it's a deal, and you're gonna run your number up.
Ninja
like the
strategy.
guy when we
Yeah.
when we did the deal or no deal, and he paid
Mhm.
some crazy number.
Mhm.
Like the house was only worth 40. He spent 25
Right. I
Yeah.
forgot
plus
about that.
30
Yeah,
something in
yeah.
repairs.
Yeah.
And we was like, what made you think it was a deal? And he was like, because it was off market.
Yeah.
Like it don't make sense.
That's what I got a call from a wholesaler for. I was talking about our Green Acres property, and I'm like, no, we need a certain amount of money. This is how much, this is what we let it go for. And they had a number that they would like, but I'm just like, no, we will list it on the MLS first,
Yeah.
because I feel like I get more opportunity there. Like when I put it on the multiple listing service, everybody all over the world is gonna see this property,
Including those same end buyers.
including those same
But
end
it's
buyers.
all about how they feel.
Perspective.
Because, so it's two things, right? So let's say she lists the property. Well, say she has a property off market. And a lot of times what people will do, you put it out like a Facebook group or
Yeah.
blast it out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then another wholesaler get it and they repackage it. They take the information and they brand it as an off-market deal to their group of investors. But they added 5 or 10,000 to it. So now, and maybe that happens another time. So by the time the end buyer get it, it's another 10 or 15,000 on top of it, which they don't really know about and they don't care because they think the numbers make sense. But they're buying it because they don't want to pay a commission. But technically, they're 15, 20,000 above because you got two or
Yeah.
three wholesalers that involved with this $30,000 or $40,000 property.
You're talking about a $6,000 commission, $6,000 commission,
Or
maybe
more.
on a
Yeah.
$100,000
Yeah.
property.
Or more. We get more.
No, I'm talking about
Yeah.
on the
No,
assignment.
no,
I'm
on
talking
the
about the
assignment.
commission.
The assignment, you're gonna
I'm
get
talking-
a lot
yeah,
more,
I'm talking about
right.
the commission.
And that's the benefit. Like, and I didn't want to put you on the spot and ask you like on those 3 deals
Yeah.
because you probably you're probably gonna close those when.
Next week.
So you're gonna close next week
Yes.
and probably yield approximately around on a return.
So for all 3,
Mhm.
probably about $9K altogether.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So
they're
you fair.
probably like
Yeah,
lower,
yeah, I'm
right.
fair. I'm
they're
fair.
lower
Goddamn.
end properties, right?
Yes.
she
had a
I
couple
got
really
I
good
got
ones.
anywhere from
Yeah.
17K properties all the way up into the millions. So
Right.
like I get it commercial units, I get everything. So
Right.
people literally, some man reached out to me today. He was like, I see your portfolio and I this is too much for me, but I got these apartment buildings. I
Right.
need you to help me find some buyers. And
Right.
that's off market.
I
Yup.
need those addresses. You did when I talked to her. She said, I
Yeah.
need to update my list.
I gotta
But I'm like,
update
send
it.
it to me now while I'm out. So
Yeah,
I
because
can.
people reach out to me
Right.
all the time. They want my help to sell their house and they want to probably get quick cash. So like another
Right.
one of the deals I did yesterday, her situation, she's in pre-foreclosure.
Right.
She like, I need to do something fast. I don't want to have to be waiting 30 days for somebody to try to get
Yeah,
I
go
can,
through
and
all
I'm like, I can get it sold for you in 10 days. And I
Right.
literally had about 3 or 4 offers come in the
Right.
same day I posted her. And that was 3 days ago. So we settled on the offer yesterday. But then
Look, and I'm still trying to get it. Like, can you just
and
let
then
her?
she's still trying to get the property. Like, if it doesn't go through, but she still got the opportunity. But, this is going to help her
Right.
with her situation. So it's like, it's good to do it off market sometimes because it's faster. You don't have to go through the paperwork. And then it's good for me as an agent working in off market deals because they don't get my commission split. I don't have to do that 60-40.
Yeah.
I get
But
100% of my
60-40.
money.
But-
So, yeah, we 60-40 at
Right.
properties because, we high
Y'all don't
end.
have 100% cap? Y'all don't have a
No,
cap?
so my partner, she actually just got here. She said she's coming around the back,
Right.
but she's trying to get me to join her team because they doing 100%
They
with
do a
her,
cap,
and she like, I
yeah.
want you to come check us out, and I'm like, I want 100% of my money, but because I'm getting that in the office, in wholesaling,
Yeah.
but with them, I listed MLS, it's over. Everybody get
Well,
paid.
once you cap, though, you cap. It's 100%.
No, I kept not 100. Not
No.
at properties. I think our cap is like 70, 72,
Oh,
73,
right,
something
yeah.
like that. It's not much. So it's like, but before I got with them, I was getting 80-20. So that's why I'm still like,
Yeah.
But you like better now because you moved for a reason. Like you
Yeah.
felt like you weren't. Can you tell us a little bit about that? And then
So-
I got one thing. I want to go back to the wholesale.
Yeah, no worries. So why did I move from my previous broker?
Yeah.
So my previous broker, he was an independent broker. It was just me and him and one other person on the team. So I
Right.
basically was like the lead of sales. This man hits the ground running. He does it all, you know. So when I came in, I basically learned everything my broker knows. Like everything he knows, he
Right.
taught me.
Okay.
So, but I mean, I feel like, you know, he was the one that got me into like investment properties. So I was doing a lot of flip properties with him. And that's how I even started getting all these investors because people was calling me about the listings that I was posting. And I just was like, I'm going to just save y'all information. Anything come across, I'll just let y'all know.
Right.
And so, you know, I worked with him for about 2 years. And then during my transition this year to add properties, it was just for me to do, you know, to expand more because
Right.
they're all about branding. He's not
Right.
really big into that. He's like, I want to close these deals. You know,
Right.
he's out there all about marketing, branding, but I can still close the deals. I need to know how to put myself in position, you know,
Right.
when I become a broker, know how to brand myself, market myself, what to do, the ins and outs. So you got to be around the best,
Yeah.
you know, so you can be the best. So that's kind of how I set it up for us to transition.
So
Right.
she wanted to scale.
Yeah,
She
I
felt
was
like he was
scaling.
hustling. He's still working too hard.
You got a hustler, then you got
and-
somebody that's leveraging the
But I'm
brand and the
still in the
marketing.
field. I'm
Yeah.
still on this phone. This phone do not stop ringing.
Right.
It don't stop
She on
ringing.
the phone right now.
I'm on the
So,
phone now, and I'm trying
let-
to close this deal, make sure because I want to make sure this deal get done right. So I'll stop anything I'm doing to,
So
to
let
get
me
it done.
let me ask y'all. So we talked about perspective a little bit. So let's say you got property A, whether it was the lady in distress losing her property to foreclosure,
Mhm.
and let's say let's just say $100,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Investor comes, you find an investor as a wholesaler, so you're probably gonna do it at 110, right?
Mhm.
That's fair if the numbers still work. So the investor is paying 110 for a $100,000 property. Now, in perspective, that same property, because that investor says, I don't want to pay commissions or anything, and the seller is saying, I don't want to pay commissions or anything. If you're listing it at 110 on the market, won't you probably get the same result? So when you do a net sheet and you look at it, it's really about one person, like you said, feeling like they don't want to pay that commission. But at the end of the day, you still got a total investment of 110. So I think it's really more about perception.
And I
Yeah.
think too, when you got properties like that, if you were to put them on the MLS for the people that can do it, and you're listing it so low,
Right.
now you're probably gonna drive that profit up.
Yeah, you're gonna get more.
Yeah.
activity.
Off market. You know.
Mhm.
On market.
On
So like if you
On
put it,
market.
if you
if you list that $100,000 property at 85 or 90, those
Yeah.
same buyers are out there.
I say that used to be the case, but I don't think so now. I don't think so. I think that off market, they driving the price up off market.
Yeah, I
no, that's
know.
not what I'm saying. I'm saying for the yield spread for the seller
Right.
goes up. So when you paying a commission, let's say on a $100,000
Oh.
property, you paying $6,000. Let's say that $100,000 property is worth $200 or $250 or something like that after repair. Now you got investors that's, jumping and hopping over fences trying to get that property, and they're like,
On the MLS?
yeah, I'll pay, 110 or 115 or
Right.
if it's a good deal, you're still gonna get that traffic.
That's why I don't agree with that, because I think that yes, if you're dealing with experienced investors,
Right.
yes. But the problem is we're dealing with so many inexperienced investors out here. They're not even looking on the
Looking at-
MLS.
Exactly.
They see
Yeah.
something on the MLS, they like, bruh, they trying to talk you down on that price. They think that's
Right.
not a deal. And then
Yep.
they're going to go to the off-market deal and they're going to run that price up.
So you saying the same exact property with the same exact return on investment just because it's say off market.
Paying more for
Their
it.
perception is
It's
that
a better deal.
it's
Yeah,
a
they
better
think
deal,
it's a better
right?
deal,
And-
but it's
and
not.
so they
and it's
running the
not
price.
right.
Not all the time.
Right.
Not for every
Yeah, because
house.
sometimes I get lists and I start going through them. So first, when I get a list, I look at the list as a whole, and I automatically know by address. I'm not interested in that one, that one, or that one.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it's a couple that stand out. So like from your list, you had 2 on there that stood out. The one that I was talking to you about, and then the one in East English. I already
Yeah.
know without me looking how much I can spend on these properties.
Yeah.
And if they fall within that margin, now you got me ready to make an offer.
Mhm.
And, you know, like I think on yours, you told me, well, this is how much we accepted. I'm like, well, shit, she can get another $5,000. She
Mhm.
closed on me on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So like I already have that information. If that same property was on the MLS, that property, you can probably, like the investor that I know that will buy that property, that's like in his area, and he could probably spend up to $90,000 for that property.
And I
In
had it
particular.
listed at 73, and that's
Right.
just due to the work that need to be done.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And you got
So,
it at how much? I mean, you
so
sold it?
yeah, I sold it yesterday. So
How much?
I got it at 60, but that's because she wanted to keep it in the family.
Right.
So a
Oh,
family
right.
member was gonna come in and buy the house because she's been in the house since 1969.
Okay.
She's been in there her whole life. So you know
Right.
how a lot of people had that monetary value was like emotional value in
Yeah.
the house, especially they don't ever want to leave, you know. So I already understood where her head was at. Like, I've been here all my life, and
Yeah.
obviously I already knew he was gonna say that. But this is just for you to get a new start because the house is, you know, it needs a
shambles.
full,
Yeah.
it needs a full rehab. So it's like you walk away with 60, you great. Because I had investors over there yesterday actually, and they were like, this house needs everything. And, you know, they was
Right.
like, they came down to 45 and then
Mhm.
her, you know, so
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like they came down on my, and I was like, no,
Right.
I still want to I know I can get her at least 60. I know
Right.
it's,
I'm gonna change the street. This is like basically 17,000 block of Presser, Stansbury,
Okay.
going
Yeah.
back toward
Yep.
north,
Right.
right? So smaller
It's
property.
just laughing.
The
My
basement
friend
was the
is
worst
on
part
fire.
that I could see.
Right.
Okay.
And you know, them properties right now, you know, they getting up, you know, pretty
Right.
high. So I think, you know, I think that it was a good deal, that one in particular.
So I think I think it depends on the scenario and the situation. It doesn't. It depends on who you're trying to the seller's individual needs.
Right.
So if you need to sell something really fast,
Right.
then yeah, I feel like the off market route is the route to go.
Right.
But if you got some time and you're trying to get the most money,
Yeah.
I feel like now you can still go off market. You can still
Right.
go off market. Depending on, like she talking about Sherwood Forest. That thing gonna
Well,
go way
let me-
faster. Everybody's trying to buy Sherwood Forest.
But let me
Everybody.
ask you this
Yeah.
though. If you the seller, because we've all seen some wholesale deals come across our table 3 or 4 times with different wholesalers, and it's been 3 or 4 months, right? So to the seller, are they really saving time?
That's the question.
Because it's like every scenario is not the same. Because, for example, when you get you get a seller under contract,
Mhm.
how long is your contract for typically, on average? It would be at least 30 days or.
Yeah. So
you're talking about her
As a
as her
wholesaler.
As a
seller,
wholesaler.
right.
But
So
you
as
have
far
them
as-
under contract
no.
for. How long do you normally have them under contract for?
I don't have anybody, like none of my investors are under contract with me. Like
Okay.
you mean the sellers though?
Yeah, the sellers.
So my sellers is just like we just know we have a network of
Okay,
sellers.
so you're
it's, I'm not even like, I don't have none of them under an agency agreement with me because
Right.
being a wholesaler, they got the option to work with multiple agents or multiple people.
Right.
That's how she's seeing my property on her list from another person, you know, because
Okay.
they can put this property out with anybody. So it's not, he's direct to him, but I could be direct to him too. It's just, I just brought him a buyer.
So he asking
So
though is
most
who do you have
wholesalers get
under
the
contract?
seller.
Don't you got that under contract?
No, so
You
that's
don't get
not
under
that
contract?
under off market. No, it's not necessarily just
Right.
contracts involved when it comes to, you know, getting it done. Other than the purchase agreement and the assignment
Yeah,
agreement.
that's what I'm saying.
So-
the purchase agreement. So when
So when they assign it, they assign it through me
right,
once I bring a buyer.
Who has
Right.
it under contract though? You have it under contract though, right?
Yeah, so they basically they create the contract. We create the contract, but we put it under my name or my business name.
right.
Right.
But I'm saying when you sign that purchase agreement with that seller and you
Yeah.
have your assignment agreement,
Yeah.
what's your time frame in that purchase
To close.
agreement? Is
For
it
you.
30
Like,
days?
not for the person that's
Oh,
buying
for
it
Yeah.
from
the
you.
so the
Right.
person for the close. Like I do 10-day closes.
No.
Oh.
He's saying when you sign your purchase agreement, when
Yeah.
you go to the seller and you say, "Hey, all right, I'm gonna buy your house from you."
Yeah.
How long do you give yourself to under contract? Not how long you give
She
the
said
person
10
that's buying
days.
it from you. You
Yeah, it's just 10 days.
Okay.
give yourself 10 days.
So
Well,
you-
I guess I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
Right.
Because what we're
So-
typically used to dealing with, like wholesalers who've been doing. So she's just starting wholesale,
Mhm.
and she's been successful thus far in how she's doing it. But typically, if I were to come to you, let's say you have a house for sale and you're like, Johnny, I want to sell it off the market. I'm like, okay, cool, I'll buy it. And so I'm going to give you a contract that says I will make sure you're paid X amount of dollars.
Right.
But I'm going to give myself about 30 days typically to get that done.
To get the house sold.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of
Oh, yeah, I see what you're
wholesalers are doing
saying.
30 days, and then
To
they
get
have
it
their
done.
assignment clause in there, and then they go out
Yeah.
and look for a buyer because they
That makes
want their
sense.
seller locked in. And that's what we're trying to explain. Some sellers say, oh, I don't want to list it with an agent because I want they want some freedom. They don't want to be locked in.
exactly.
But a lot of sellers don't understand when they sign that contract, that PA with a wholesaler, they're locked into that wholesaler because
Exactly.
of performance.
Because you can go
That's-
start claiming
and that
interest.
That's why I don't
wholesaler-
have a contract with them because, like I said, they working with so many different people.
Okay.
I
The
feel
seller
like,
is?
yeah, the seller is trying to, like, she got my property. Even a friend of mine, she didn't see, like, I got this too, but because this person, he got all these properties in the city.
Right.
He needs somebody to help him sell them, and he ain't all off market.
Oh,
And
she
you
got, she
just-
got an investor, she's not going
Yeah,
to a
this-
homeowner that's trying to
Yeah,
sell.
you-
She got
you
an
not-
Well,
investor.
the
Yeah.
one person was a home.
So the one I sold yesterday, so 2 was sold for
Right.
yesterday, then 1 was direct to seller.
Right.
Sheesh.
So I tell basically all of them, like, I'm direct to the seller if you want to sell. Like, okay, so an issue came up today actually.
Right.
So when the assignment was done, the assigner who was on this particular property that my buyer wants, I brought you the buyer.
Right.
He assigned it to his name, so because he was representing that particular seller.
Right.
You know, but this is my investor, so you want to close this deal, but he didn't do it like the paperwork work because you're a wholesaler. You're not understanding the contracts. You're not understanding
Right.
making sure everything is good. So now you could potentially cost this deal for me if you don't, because
Do it
he
right.
did an error on the contract. So my buyer's like, is this the right price and is this the right stuff? I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, but I still, thank God he put his trust in me. He like, I'm still gonna move forward and give you my original offer and all this stuff, but I only
Right.
want to be direct to the seller. It's not gonna be an assignment on this. So you got that option to say, hey, I just want to work directly with the seller. I don't want it to be assigned to anybody because my investor, he buys bulk,
Right.
so I can't have nobody coming in.
So how do you get your
Get
money?
paid. That's what I was saying. How you
So the
get paid?
seller pays me. So the title company pays me. It's like with the agreement that we have. I got
Right.
an agent line.
How do you guarantee that you're going to get paid if you don't have a contract with the seller up front? Because what we're saying is most wholesalers we interview or that we personally know
Yeah.
or even deals we've done, we have a PA with the seller
Yeah.
and it says we're going to close by this date. So we have performance in there, what we price, terms, and condition.
Mm-hmm.
But the assignment clause in there allows us to go out and find an end buyer.
Got it.
And where the confusion is, most sellers don't understand whether it's on market or off market in that scenario.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing is happening.
Yeah.
You have a seller, you have a middle person, whether it's an agent or wholesaler, that has a time frame to perform at this price, and they're both trying to find an end buyer,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And in your case, you're saying you don't have that PA with your seller client because most of them just came to you to sell their properties,
Correct.
and you're going to get paid when you perform.
Correct.
Okay.
So, but now that I'm getting more into wholesaling,
Right.
and I'm doing all my documentation,
Right.
you even telling me that it's like now I gotta
Yeah,
really,
Yeah.
you need a
make
contract.
sure.
Yeah.
that
They don't
I
give you
got
no
this-
contract.
I'm
Because-
big on the paper. I'm big on paperwork, but
Yeah.
I just didn't understand. Because a lot of
Yeah.
laws and changed as far as like agency agreements and all
Right.
this. I didn't want to make it more
Complicated.
complicated,
Yeah.
especially dealing with my broker.
Always
Yup.
get your contract.
Because
But
what-
yeah,
what
but I have my
happened
own
is,
personal one.
If
Yeah.
if you have a seller and they say, okay, I want to sell the property, right?
Mhm.
And you come to me as an investor and you bring me that deal, if I'm not honest, I can just look the seller up and call them direct and be
No,
like, hey,
exactly.
And they do
I'll
it all the
offer
time.
you
Yeah,
this.
and I know they
right?
do.
And you're not protected,
Yeah.
but unless you just have that relationship with your
Like you saying, your
Right.
investor probably won't do that because he know he gonna make more money with you in the long run.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
a one-off homeowner might be like,
Yeah.
oh, this person is offering me $5,000 more than you are.
Or
You know,
the
so
equal
he
amount with
he
nothing,
netting
with no
$5,000
money.
more than you are because you got an assignment fee.
because
Mhm.
they
You know what
both
I'm saying?
trying to save money.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
So whether
And-
they know of the assignment fee or not, somebody will try to cut you
Yeah.
out.
And
so
they
just
be
have
in,
your
they be
paperwork.
you be thinking you under contract or you about to sell it to this person. They under contract with somebody else the day before.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
So let's go over pros, cons, and a myth before we wrap it up?
The myth of cash for homes.
So I think yes.
So most people, the cash for homes. So a lot of people see that cash for homes being advertised. What they need to understand is probably 80 to 90% of those are not actual investors that will buy your home. They're actually wholesalers that's going to get you under contract and try to sell your property to another investor they know. Or their partner. My partner has to see the home. Or you still going to have showings because people still got to come and see the
So
property.
you're saying they still wholesalers?
They're still middlemen. They're
Yeah.
still
wholesalers.
acting as agents in a way.
Yeah,
So,
they are. But
yeah,
they try not to even interfere, too
Right.
much with the buyers because they don't want to look like, because they can't offer no type of advice or legalities or
Exactly.
anything. So
Right.
a lot of them, they try to be discreet,
Right.
when they working with different buyers because they
Yup.
I don't need them to know I'm the one that's on this
Yeah.
assignment. But it works out for me because I'm an agent and I got, I done built this reputation and
Right.
the rapport with my investors and my sellers. So, but yeah, I'm gonna get that contract. Like you
Yeah.
said.
I think
Period.
another myth would be selling with an agent for a commission will yield a smaller net.
Yeah, that's a myth. If somebody, because like I had a property on McIntyre, right? The people called me out to list their home, and I was like, yeah, your home. This was a few years ago, so the home was worth like 85 as is. They said someone offered them like 60 as is. I'm like, man, somebody can buy this house right now at 85. I offered them 70, right? And they was like, but yeah, they don't have commissions. I said, look. At 85,000, the commissions and fees are not going to equal 25,000.
5,000.
But the only thing, when we got ready to list the property, I put it on the market. Then I got a call from the wholesaler. They had already signed that PA with the wholesaler, but it was about to expire. Because the wholesaler was like, yeah, I got it under contract. You can't sell it. I said, yeah, but in a couple of days I can. So they didn't tell me that because they didn't understand. They just thought they hadn't heard from him in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
They just thought he wasn't going to
'Cause he
close.
got-
I had a
he
situation like that a few
Yup.
weeks ago over in Bagley where they tried to, threaten the seller with a claim of interest, but he like, y'all didn't perform. You didn't close. You
Yeah.
didn't bring the money.
Yeah.
No.
I got an attorney that'll sue the hell out you for doing that. For clouding their title.
Well, thanks
like
for letting
that.
me know.
Yup.
Wow.
Yeah,
And-
if you don't perform and you put a claim of interest on there and you didn't perform, he'll sue your socks off for
Yeah.
real. Like, because you
Yeah.
clouding their title and if you like mess up their deal and they was planning on moving and buying another house,
Yeah.
it's so much they're gonna try to recoup in damages from you.
No, they will.
Yeah.
That's serious business.
Yeah, be careful with them claiming interest.
So, pros of working with a wholesaler is that you could sell it faster, could be a bit more discreet potentially.
Yup.
Yeah.
You
Probably
can't
less
sell it for
foot
more.
traffic. It's possible to sell it for
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
On the
Cons.
investor side, as the buyer, you're probably gonna have less competition. Because if I'm your investor, you're only sending it out to your database.
Yeah.
When it's on the market as the buyer, if you list it, now her database, his data, everybody's seeing it. So I got more competition.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cons for working with a wholesaler.
I think the cons is that they don't have the fiduciary responsibility that a realtor has. So you can't. Who you gonna call and tell on them?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
and it's like the wild wild west in
Yeah.
real life. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
don't really gotta know what you're doing. Just got to get the house under contract. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
once you get under contract, they in trouble. You stuck.
I think the only con is if you're a new investor and your perception is that you're getting a deal, nobody's like you said, working in your favor to tell you like, no, these numbers don't work. They're just getting a deal done. But a good wholesaler like yourself, you want them to make money so they keep coming back.
Oh yeah.
Because they get that one deal and they get burnt, they
Yeah.
can't even afford to
You ain't
buy.
even make no money.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get rich off of one wholesale deal.
Right.
So I got
Same. Yeah.
more than likely could earn a smaller profit.
For the wholesaler. Oh,
No,
right.
for the seller.
Right.
Right.
As a con for the wholesaler.
Yep.
Mhm.
Could more than likely the wholesaler never intends on buying the property within a specific time frame because they don't have the cash themselves.
Right.
Or she talking about the con. So she do
Yeah.
hers different,
Mhm.
Right.
but yeah.
And then potentially could take longer if the wholesalers network isn't strong.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Because you already have investors. So when people come to you and say, look, I'm tired of these rental properties. I just need to sell them. They got tenants in them.
Yeah.
Then you not going to the market where we're not disturbing the tenants, none of that. You
Yeah.
just coming to another investor and say, here's the performance on these,
Mm-hmm.
buy them or not, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. I got an apartment building now. It says 725. It's like a 13, 14 unit. Now,
Mhm.
is the value really 725? It's
Right.
off market, but with the wholesale, that could be a
Right.
little gouging. Yeah, but it's occupied.
Right.
It's
Is
it's
it
like,
performing?
yep, it's performing really good. It's like it's only 4 vacant units,
Okay.
but it's a 14 unit, and
Right.
the people been in there for years, so it's a nice little rent roll. People paying their rent,
Right.
Mhm.
But the seller, I sent it to a guy today, and he's like, at that door, the door
It don't
price was
add up.
adding up. It wasn't adding up, and I was like,
Right.
yeah, because that's the only caveat, because you might end up paying more. But the other thing is, which is actually not that bad, is the fact that the seller knows this.
Yeah.
So they're
Mhm.
willing to negotiate
Right.
on most of their deals,
They shooting their shot.
So
Yeah.
They shoot for the moon, but they might not hit it. They get
Right.
might hit the stars, and you just
For sure.
you
Yeah,
get what
right.
you can get. So a lot of them are flexible. They understand what they're doing, and it's the game, and people just trying to.
Right.
Yeah, but for all my investors, I want to make sure any deal they make sense. If I tell them, like, I won't even buy this.
Right.
Mhm.
I want to put
See,
my
that's
money
what.
into this. So, that I'm really big on that, because I think a lot of people get buyer's remorse. You think you just bought something nice, you paid all this money, and
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
just like, no, that's the worst feeling,
Mhm.
and especially when you're working with somebody that got like millions of dollars.
Right.
You just buy 5, 6 properties. That happened to.
All the time.
Yeah, that happened to one of my investors. That's when I learned early on, because some guy wholesaled maybe like 4 or 5 homes to her. She's from Argentina.
Yep.
Never set foot in Detroit.
Yep.
But you meet this man who say he's selling these houses. She get here, now we got to start a whole lawsuit because one of the houses is burnt down, and
Oh.
it was just like,
Yep.
what? Now she got to put on all these claims. You owned it. You signed these contracts. You never been in this country
Right.
before, and you just. So people gonna see a sucker.
So
Yep.
what's
They
your
gonna lick it.
recommendation moving forward for some out of town or out of the country investors like that?
Get with an agent that do it. I don't
Right.
personally, I'm an agent, but I don't work with other wholesalers. So
Right.
people, with me wholesaling, wholesalers reach out to me all day long, like, oh, I got properties over here. I don't work with you guys. I
Right.
wasn't never doing that before. My broker didn't
Right.
even let us do wholesale deals. He was like,
Right.
we're not doing any wholesale deals, because they trying to take the deal, flip it and make it another deal. No,
Right.
I'd rather you come to me, let me sell, then I make my own
Right.
deal,
Right. Yep.
and we can just be done with that. And I'm good with the paperwork. I'm good with all of this. I like to do 7 to 10 day closes. I want to be fast,
Right.
and everybody's on the same page, and we getting what we want. So, I just recommend don't work with, because everybody's trying to get into it. Because, when something gets hot,
Yeah.
they think this is just a money grab, and it's not necessarily like that, because this is real invested interest that people have. So you want to make sure that you working with somebody that know what they're doing, and they at least got some real estate experience, because a lot of these wholesalers, they don't even have real estate experience.
Right.
They just learning along the way,
And they don't even know how to analyze a deal, but they're telling you it's a deal.
telling you it's a deal.
Right.
Yeah, but you can't tell me, you can't pull a
Right.
property record. You can't pull nothing from me if I needed to. You just going to go on Zillow or something.
Right.
You
Yep.
can't go on MLS like me and tell me how many times it's been sold,
Right.
But it's just certain things like when you looking for the person that's doing it like me, that's because I built my connections up, and people now coming to me and they asking me to help them, and that's how, like, okay, now I'm working with somebody that got thousands of properties in the city. We're
Right.
gonna help you get it moved. Now he is working with other agents, that's why I don't have him under a contract.
I know exactly who you're talking
But
about too. It's crazy.
So one other, she did mention something that's big. So I think for a seller that wants to sell off market, I think there are benefits, like if you have multifamilies, to list those off market, because you don't want to really scare the tenants. Just like in a lot of businesses, when we sell commercial property, they're like, we don't want it on the market. They don't want the employees to know. They don't want the customers to know. So there are some benefits there,
That's a
especially
pro
with
for the
Yeah, the pro
wholesale.
for yep.
yeah, that's the
Mhm.
pro for sure.
Okay, Kiera, tell us where to find you at, how to reach you.
Oh,
What's your contact?
My contact. So I'm
Instagram.
on Instagram. I'm Empress K. Just Empress EMPRESSKAY 333.
All right.
On Instagram, come check me out and see everything else I'm doing. I do everything from real estate. I'm a tax specialist. I work in the entertainment business. I'm a notary, and I got my own company as well that I'm doing. So,
Okay.
yeah, I just like to,
Get to
get to the bag.
right.
That's
Yep.
it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's what's up.
That's a wrap.
Well,